Most of us, when we think of blind spots, we think of driving down the highway and you've got your mirrors on and you always know you have to sometimes turn around because sometimes different vehicles can get in your blind spot. Well, in life and relationships, we have blind spots too. Our blind spots are those things that we don't want to deal with, we don't want to face, and we don't want to have to go through. But if we don't do it, what ends up happening is our blind spots can ruin our relationships. If we won't deal with the areas that we like keeping hidden, then what ends up happening is our partner has to respond to some information we put out that is a blatant dismissal of our blind spot. So I want to go through, since everybody's different and everybody has unique blind spots, when they come in for counseling, that's part of my job, is to kind of talk to them about their blind spots, what they may be afraid to face or what they're trying hard to deny. But overall, I think there's a category of blind spots, and I've listed today 4 of them. So these are very common blind spots that even if you have your own unique set, they may be related to these, or these are perhaps one of the other ones that you hadn't thought about. The first blind spot is denial or running away from negative feelings. As I said, if you deny when you feel sad or bad or, worthless, or you try to run away from that feeling by distracting, doing something else, trying basically to put it into a file so you don't have to face it, then you are creating a bigger blind spot in your relationship. You see, the thing is, many things that hurt, that we don't want to deal with because they hurt, those are the very things that are limiting and holding us back. So to be human is to acknowledge these feelings and walk through them or walk with them. When you start denying them, you're numbing yourself against an essential part of life, of feeling feelings. And not only that, but if you continually deny or numb unhappy or sad feelings you don't want to feel, then you'll end up having an addiction. That's another issue you'll have to deal with. And I've seen this in food addicts, I've seen it in sugar addicts, I've seen it in alcoholics. So be aware and continue to ask yourself, what do I not want to deal with right now? The denial starts with superficial things, but it goes much deeper. Secondly, you keep experiencing the same relationship with different people. There's a reason you keep finding people like your ex. And one of the biggest reasons is because you are, without knowing maybe or unconsciously, choosing the friends, the lovers you surround yourself with. When you continue to choose a bad person, you can blame them, but it's not their fault. It's what you're putting out there. They're responding to your cues. So rather than to continue to stay in a different life situation with the same kind of person, face whatever it is you're trying to cover up. Thirdly, creating vague or blurry boundaries. When you do that, you're basically not committed. You're not able to say, listen, this is a value I really hold firm on. You're trying to be liked. You're trying to fit in instead of stand up and advocate for yourself. And fourthly, presenting a fake front or minimizing your true feelings. If you're one of those people that feels lonely in your relationship, or you have a birthday and you don't feel special because no one gets you really anything or what you wanted, it's because you're minimizing your feelings to win their approval. Or you're presenting a person like, this is no big deal, don't worry about it. It is a big deal. You feel bad about it. The more you learn to be honest and upfront with what you're feeling, the better you're going to be able to be treated by the people who are the closest to you. So what do you have to do to fix this? I'm going to give you some questions, and I want you, first of all, to look in the mirror. Then I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. What am I afraid to know? what do I want to least accept about myself? And what do I feel or sense without even having to acknowledge it? Like, what is going on with me? Secondly, I want you to ask those closest to you for feedback. You can throw out what doesn't fit, but those people closest to you are seeing repetitive negative patterns that perhaps are part of the reason you're in the situation you're in. And thirdly, reflect on the feedback without defensive judgment. It's important you do that because you can write about it, you can journal about it. And then from there, if you're still not sure what you're going to do with this, then the key is to go to therapy. Find a therapist you can talk to and tell them what parts of this you own, what parts you cannot see because they're just too big of a blind spot, or you've got a history of protecting this blind spot. And that therapist is going to help you see the light on the situation and also give you a plan that you can work with them and make it through. I think the most important thing we can do about a blind spot is, first of all, not judge it from the front and not blame ourselves. As I said, everybody has them, but more look at it as a curiosity, as an opportunity to get to know yourself better and go after it. Identify it, find it, and then you can practice getting rid of it, resolving it, and becoming the person you want to become to be happier in your life.